Hello everyone, I'm Yannis Stavroulakis, Senior Editor at Greek website Gazeta.gr, the official EuroLeague media partner in Greece, and I will be the moderator of our next session. Please do not forget to follow our hashtag FrontRunners2022 and to send your questions under the streaming of each speaker. Please welcome on stage Mr. Utku Yusuf, Digital Media and Marketing Manager of Anodolu Efes. He will speak to us about the Anodolu Efes, the marketing giant. But before we begin our session, I would like to raise this white card and invite you to do the same with me. On the occasion of the International Day of Sport for Development and Peace on April 6th, we raise awareness and participate in the white card campaign, which is initiated by the non-profitable organization Peace and Sport, showing that sport can be an answer to social issues and that it can bring to the construction of a culture of peace. Well, Mr. Yusuf, the stage is yours.
Thank you. So I'll share my presentation here first. So today, actually, I would like to talk a little bit about a brief history of the club. And after that, I would like to talk about the mission and the vision that it was created, why it was created, and the ecosystem of the club, the third parties that is around the club, and also some marketing assets and the post-pandemic strategic change that we did, a successful change that we did. And I will try to set an example for my fellow colleagues, actually. So my name is Utku Yusuf Ozciger. I'm the marketing and digital media manager of the club. In the club, I deal with the marketing strategy, marketing campaigns, and branding and advertisements, management of the digital media, including social media ads, digital broadcasting, digital projects, and strategy and content management, of course. And on the physical side, I manage the game day events, creation of the game day events. And on the partnership side, I manage the activations of the partners and education side of the partners and how they can use actually our platform, because it's being a basketball club, it's a platform for other brands so that they can communicate their brands or products or campaigns, etc. So Anodolu Efes Sports Club, named before as FSP Sports Club, was founded when our president, Mr. Tuncay Özilan, bought a small basketball club in Istanbul, actually named Kadıköy Sports Club in 1976. And one of the missions of having this club was to contribute to the improvement of Turkish sports, actually, to represent our country in the European arena with success, and of course set an example to encourage youth about basketball in our country. So having worked with this mentality in more than 45 years, this is the 46th year now, the club actually won the most cups in Turkey, and also won in the team sports in our country the first European level cup, which was Courage Cup, and it has this pride on it, working during these 46 years. And apart from, of course, the successes on the court, on the marketing side, event side, it also won a lot of trophies. And these are the last trophies that we won in the previous year, EuroLeague Championship and the 15th Turkish League Championship. As I said before, one of the main reasons were to encourage the youth about basketball. So during all these years, it also nurtured thousands of people. I am one of them into basketball, and some of them are professional basketball players right now. Some of them are managers in the business right now, like me. Some of them are in other sides of the sector or in other sectors, and it became a school actually for many young people. And these are the cups that we won, our youth teams won in its history, and it's again the club that won the most cups in the youth teams level as well. And these are some of the players that were nurtured from the club and went to NBA to play. For sure, you know all of them. And as I said before, the club's name was Efes Peace and Sports Club. But in 2011, by law, the name had to change from Efes Peace and Sports Club to Anodolu Efes Sports Club. And as if it was the reason, it was the name of the change of the name, the club couldn't had as many successes as it used to have on the court. So the president and the managers understood that this is not a sustainable business to be in, to rely on the successes on the court. So they made a research and they came together with a university, they worked with a university, and they understood that this is not the sector that we are into, actually. So most people think that Efes is in basketball or sports sector, but actually Efes is not in basketball sector. Efes is in entertainment sector. So they made the research, they came up with a business plan, and they changed actually the way that they look at the sector, and they understood that, okay, we are in entertainment sector. What we do is play basketball. It's our main event, and we will just plan actually our way around basketball. So they came up with this point of view, and these are some of the examples that we have been doing to show you the entertainment actually. As I said before, one of the missions is that it has this association, social side club, and since the beginning of its foundation, it had this responsibility, and throughout these years, it became an example in the country and in Europe, in European basketball with its social responsibility projects. And some of them are, you can see with the photos, pink ball on the court to raise awareness for breast cancer. One team CSR project of EuroLeague basketball, bring a book to help students on the eastern part of Turkey that are not able to get as many as books or information as the rest of the students, let's say. And the latest projects that the initiatives that we initiated are Score for a Tree. Actually, it was a CSR project that we realized in our Asvel game, and every point that we made were counted as trees, and also during the game and during the game day activations, halftime activations on the foyer area. Fans also contributed with their baskets, or quizzes turned into trees instead of giving them the jersey, etc. And the other one was UNDP's 17 goals. So it was to raise awareness of the situation that we are in right now, to raise awareness for the sustainability that we are in right now. And my cat is here. So, since the beginning of our foundation, we are realizing CSR projects actually to give back to the community, not only to raise awareness but to take action also. So, as I said before, I want to talk about the ecosystem that we are in right now. Anadolu Efes Sports Club is playing basketball in the pioneering basketball league of Turkey, which is under the Turkish Basketball Federation. The club plays basketball in the EuroLeague, the pioneering basketball league of Europe, and it's one of the founders of the EuroLeague. And it's an association of Anadolu Group, which includes nearly 80 companies in 19 sectors. It works with, actually, we work with more than 10 agencies to do our job. We work as a team with them, and I believe, and I'm proud that we come up with very good job. We are in agreement with more than 22 sponsors, and they are the leaders in their sector. And in the next page, I'll talk about our mentality, how we do the sponsorship, how we see the sponsorship, and what's our point of view. We are in good relationship with the press, with the broadcaster, and the influencers, because they help our name to be communicated to outside. And we don't work directly with influencers, but we have influencers around us, and we are always in good communication with them. I will talk more with details about the club assets, but before that, the most important part in this ecosystem are our fans. So every basketball or sports lover who is looking for a safe, fun environment, who is looking for the feelings, the emotions of basketball with the fair play mentality are our fans. And the biggest objective that we have is to increase the fan base. I'll skip to the club assets, but before sponsorships, these are sponsors right now. Well, there's some more that are coming. Our mentality with the sponsorship is that we don't go to the sponsors or possible sponsors like, okay, we have this package that includes this, and that. This is X thousand euros. We have package B, this includes this, and that. This is Y thousand euros. This is not our mentality. We go to them, we listen to them, and we understand their needs actually. Then we work on packages that would fit to them the best way. So by doing this, we come up with the best solution. So we maintain a sustainable agreement with them. So for example, with Sarar, we have been in partnership more than 23 years right now. So with this mentality, we come up with sustainable sponsorships. As I said before, I'll now talk about the club assets that we are promoting. For sure, the biggest one, the most important one, is the team roster, the senior team of the club, and they are our influencers, they are our celebrities. And we try to use their power of communication the best way we can. Youth teams, as I said, it's very important for FS because it's also known for its history of nurturing young people to the basketball world. So this is also one of the biggest and the strongest assets that we have. Game day experience, as I said 2 sentences before. For us, creating a safe and entertaining environment where fans can feel the emotions of basketball on the court, alone or with their friends next to them, or with some people that they could be friends, is our main objective when we design the game day actually. Before designing the game day, of course, we come up with a yearly plan. Then after every game, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks before, we come up with our agencies, come up with the creative plans, so that fans can come inside, feel the emotions of basketball, and even though the team loses on the court, when they go home, they put their heads on their pillows. They can say, okay, today the team lost, but it's okay. I had an amazing day today with my kids, with my wife, with my husband, with my partner, thanks to FS. So this is the main objective that we are trying to do. Our job is not related to the basketball. That is not related to the results that are happening on the court. Of course, it affects us, but this is not our direct, let's say, strategic goal. Our objective is to entertain people, actually, basically. So these are the numbers that a game they could reach. Çaylak, our mascot. So he's I think, the best one in Europe. Since the beginning, he has been doing a great job. And our digital communication channels. Actually, the digital transformation for our club started 6 years ago. Actually, it was the first time that I was in the club. I came to the club as the digital manager, and it was the first step, I guess, that the club made to start this digital transformation. And it was the first club that changed the whole communication to digital. And since then, we have been investing our time, our money on the improvement of our digital channels, social media channels. Of course, during that time, especially after the pandemic, it got fastened for sure. And during that time, also, we had our loyalty program called Fan Card, and the Fan Card loyalty program changed to Fan Club and were put inside a mobile app that was developed back then. And what is Fan Club? It's a loyalty program that fans can download for free, can apply. And when they come to the court, when they come to the games, they can check in through their mobile application, they can get points, and they can use these points with the experiences or to reach the experiences that they cannot buy with money, or they can get discounts, they can get free presents, they can get autographed jerseys, or they can get the chance of traveling with the team to an away game. So this is a great loyalty program that we have been managing, I believe. The strategy also started with the digital transformation period, let's say. Also during that time, the ticketing was also transformed into digital totally, and these are the numbers. And talking about the ticketing, of course, I cannot skip this record that we just broke. And this season, with more than 15,000 people, we broke our record actually in the attendance in a EuroLeague game, and it was a very proud success that we achieved. So here I would like to talk about the pandemic, post-pandemic process, post-pandemic period that we were into. Maybe you remember that in that season, during the pandemic happened, the team on the court was doing great. The activities that we were doing on the court were amazing. Sold out records again. Fan base was growing. Everybody was happy actually supporting Efes and being next to Efes brand. But suddenly, pandemic happened. As we all remember, it was very bad, sad times for all. And as a club the main activity is to play basketball. We couldn't have the main activity that we had. So this meant a lot of things regarding the revenues that we could get from sponsors, that we could get from media, etc. So when there was a situation that nobody knew what to do, we had to come up with a plan. We had to be pioneering club to come up with a plan. So we made the plan. But before that, I would like to talk about our mentality of doing things. We don't, as the club, we always try to be a pioneering brand. To do this, we don't just go out there and do the things that the rest are doing, the things that are trend. Okay, this is very famous right now, we should do this. Okay, this project is very important, we should do this. No, we actually always start our step by doing a research. After doing a research, we get the results and we come up with a strategy. This strategy is our roadmap actually. And we use this roadmap to go our strategic goal. So this is how we do our business. Here I like to give an example that I really like. Imagine that you are in a forest, you are in a jungle, and you are trying to reach to a point. And there are some also, you are a group. There are also some other groups that are trying to reach to their point, but there are so many trees. Some groups are chopping some trees. Chopping trees are maybe a bit bad example, but they try to make their way by chopping trees, and you just see them and you just follow them because you think it's the right way. This is not what we do. First, we climb up on a tree. We understand where we are. We understand where we want to go. This is our research. Then we go down. When we are up, we write our, let's say, map. We go down. We know our next steps. We know our ways to go to our strategic goal. So we make our own ways to go to our strategic goal. But during that time, of course, something may happen, like during the pandemic, and some trees may fall down to close our way. So then what we do, we go up again on a tree, we rewrite our map, then we go down, and we keep continuing going to the same strategic goal. So this was such a period for us during pandemic. So we had to do something to go to our strategic goal, to find new ways to our goal. We went down and we took our steps. What did we do? Was when it first came out, we actually needed to create social benefits. So we informed our followers, our fans or basketball lovers with informative, or we offered them educational or amusing, supportive and unifying communications. And the fan interaction during that season was amazing. So we had to keep that level of interaction. So we made communications to remind them the emotions that they had when they were supporting the club. So we made communications for them to remember that season. Season ticket holders, for sure, they are so important for us. And it was at its record number that season. So we had to make them happy. So when the season was canceled, we directly refunded their money, and luckily only very small amount of them refunded the money. And sponsors, very important, as you can imagine. So they couldn't get the rights they were getting, especially in a game day. And a game day doesn't mean only that it will reach to 15,000 fans in a sold-out game. Also, there is the broadcasting side. So we couldn't give them their rights. So we had to give them, in a way, their rights. So we created new revenue models and new communication areas, which was digital, of course. And directly we offered them new revenue models and new communication areas. And during that time, even we made a digital agreement with a sponsor. It was Old Spice. It was through Zoom, as we are doing right now. It was again a proud moment for us. It was a very successful thing for us. But of course, it was the first action plan that we had. It was the first steps that we made. But we knew that post-pandemic was going to affect us, and we knew that we were in a situation that broadcast revenues, advertisements, and sponsorship revenues, and game day revenues were cut. And because there were no games, so there were no revenues. And we knew that, and it was foreseen also that, and with the researches that we read, etc., that the games without fans will continue the next season. So we had to come up with a plan. And we also knew that D2C services adaptation is accelerated, and wider and differentiated revenue models were being created, and we had to create also. And virtual technologies also were improved. So to survive, let's say, we had to find the solutions. We had to make new ways. So as Anodolu Efes, our strategic goal is always aiming for growing our fan base, transferring the basketball culture actually to youth generations. We try to offer quality content in the framework of our slogan, "Where I Stand." We try to turn our game days into a ritual with the most entertaining way, with the safest way. And we always interact with our fans. We always listen to our followers and execute actually what. So this is our strategic goal. The goal didn't change, but the ways to go to that goal, of course, changed. We had to come up with a new strategy, new goals. We said, okay, if we want to survive and to be successful as a brand, we need to strengthen our digital position. We need to get new followers in the digital world. We need to create new communities also outside of Istanbul, in the other cities, especially on the eastern part of Turkey, using our strengthened digital channels. And there will be games without fans, so we need to find a way to digitalize the game day or to mobilize it so that they can just take their phones and reach to the game day. So we came up with some ideas, next steps, that we created Anodolu Efes Studio. Actually, it's a platform it's a streaming platform, streaming channel that was created and improved as a solution during the pandemic. First, of course, to create interaction with the fans, with the current fans or with the possible fans. And the second, to create new revenue models and sponsorship areas for our sponsors or for the possible sponsors. And the first and the biggest maybe content that it created, that it offered, was Anodolu Efes Studio pre-game TV show, which includes as a guest many famous people, sports people, journalists, singers, musicians, etc. And also it offers, the aim is to digitalize the game day experience, so to the fans that cannot be on the court. While doing this, also try to offer to our sponsors new ways of communication. And normally in a game day, they can reach their brand with, let's say, with a ribbon LED to the most 15,000 people. But with Anodolu Efes Studio, they can show their brand to, as you can see here, they can show their brand, or they can communicate their brand to hundreds of thousands of people. So it was a very, very important achievement that we managed, that we created. And this is the second season that we are continuing with the project. And suddenly it became as important as a game day for our sponsors to communicate their brand. Also, Anodolu Efes Digital Seeds. It was the first initiative that was done in European basketball. For sure, you all know Digital Seeds project initiative from the NBA, when during the pandemic that they created a LED screen on the court and they invited their fans to see the game from their homes as if it's live, and also on the TV that they could be seen. So it was an initiative that we created with the partnership of Efes Pilsen, our naming sponsor, Microsoft Turkey, and Bein Sports Turkey. It was a one-time project, but it helped us reach these partners' names to millions of people. So it was a successful project as well, and it was the first time in European basketball. And Anodolu Efes away game digital watch-togethers. Normally during a regular time, we always come together with our fans, especially with our fan club members, to see our games together, to share the emotions again, to pass the experience to them in a physical place, like in a bar, in a restaurant, etc. But again, during the pandemic, we couldn't do it, and we said, why don't we do it on Zoom? And we partnered with Bein Sports Turkey again, and we included in the digital event our partners so that they can keep communicating their brands through some gifts, discounts, some quizzes, etc. So we invited our fans with the moderation in a Zoom meeting. They watched the game and they shared the feelings again. They made their comments. They get their presents from our sponsors, and it was again a very good achievement for us during the pandemic.
Great.
So these were the steps that we took during the pandemic, and I have a very short video here to show you, to try to make you understand the whole experience actually as the club. And here we can play a video so that I can transfer the experience that we are creating as the club.
And after that, yes.
Hepiniz hoş geldiniz.
Really, it was really impressive. It was really impressive, Mr. Yusuf. And right now, I would like, let's move on to our audience questions. If you don't have something else to add, I think that we can give.
I can also maybe add one more sentence. As you can see, as you could see or you couldn't see in the video, there is no basketball. So of course, basketball is our main event, a main entertainment for sure. but what we are trying to achieve is to offer the fun around basketball, being also a platform for our brands. So as the person who has let's say a hand on those projects that you saw in the video, I feel very proud, and of course as Utku, also as with my teammates and with the leadership of my manager Gökçe, and with all these projects that we realized, maybe you already know that in the marketing awards of EuroLeague basketball, where they evaluate all the projects of EuroLeague and EuroCup clubs, we are the club that won the best and the most golden and the award and the most awards, marketing awards in Europe. And also, as I said before, CSR projects, as a club which is an association for Anadolu Group, is always important. And also,
let's say one question was COVID a threat for Anodolu Efes or an opportunity, let's say, to further boost the club's digital transformation?
It could be a bad moment for us, but we use this moment as an advantage. We turned this period to our advantage, let's say. This is how I call it. Just yesterday we talked about it with my colleagues, and we said we could have just stayed during the pandemic and said, okay, we will just use our digital channels the same because it's pandemic. We could use this excuse, but instead we came together. We forced ourselves by making extra meetings, maybe extra work, and we came up with a project that is called Anodolu Efes Studio. So we turned this bad situation into a good situation, let's say.
Also, I would like to ask you, what has been the most successful campaign and activation at your time with Anodolu Efes?
This is hard to say, actually. There are many activations, and sometimes I forget about them because it's my 6th year in the club. But the latest one, I could say Anodolu Efes Studio as a platform and as the pre-game live show, is a pre-game program, let's say. Because it created something new for the club that we always wanted, and thanks to pandemic, I should say, we made it happen, and it persuaded people and the fans and the sponsors that, okay, this is the new way of streaming sports, maybe not the game because of the agreements, but so they liked it and it was a success.
And one more question. Thank you for sharing a benchmark marketing strategy. How do you see the future of streaming platforms? Could streaming platforms jeopardize revenues from TV rights?
I don't know if they will, but I think they should, yes.
So simply.
Yeah.
They should. And finally, one more question.
Where it goes, actually. This is where it goes. Or the TV channels or the right holders should strengthen their digital sites, digital streaming sites.
I guess especially
to use this assets the best way.
I guess especially this period when the TV rights are always on the table, when we're talking about EuroLeague and the clubs that have to do with the TV rights. It's a story that has to do, we are talking about it every time at every EuroLeague meeting, every meeting of the shareholders of EuroLeague. It's something that everybody talks about it.
Yeah, I was always thinking, I mean, of course, there can be some obstacles that we cannot know or understand, but I was always thinking that EuroLeague TV is the perfect asset that should be improved. But for sure, there are some reasons it wasn't the best way in its form. But now I see that it's getting way better. It's improving.
And finally, I would like to ask you what it means for a club to keep the attendance record in EuroLeague, even though you don't have a football club with it. I guess that he's talking about the quantity of the fan base of Anadolu Efes.
Yeah, what it means, you ask, right? The question.
What it means, yes, for a club to keep the attendance record in EuroLeague.
as I try to explain with my sentences during the ecosystem part, fans, improving the fan base is the most important objective that we have. It's let's say the final goal, because when you increase the fan base, the rest is coming. The media is showing more sponsors are coming, more sponsor revenues are coming. When you get more revenues, you can offer better show, better entertainment to the fans. It's the most important point in the ecosystem. And personally, and I speak again for myself and for my teammates, it's so proud to achieve these numbers. And I shared the other day post, and I was very proud to get these numbers. And it's not and also in my post I said it's not one day's job. I've been working in the club for 6 years. It's not one day's job or one person's job, not mine, not the person alone who was working in the club before, not the people that are working right now. It's a whole process, I guess, and it's happening thanks to a good strategy. It's a good because of a good business plan.
And I guess that it's really important what you said earlier, that you are not only focusing on Istanbul, but also in the east part of the country.
Yeah, because we know by data, because thanks to our fan club mobile application, that we also have fans and we also have possible fan base that could grow in the other cities. We don't guess it, we just know it by data that we have. And data is also very important for us, and we are trying to improve it.
Great. Mr. Yusuf, thank you very much for your participation. It was great having you. Thank you one more time. Wish you all the best for the future, for you personally and for the club.
The same here, and it was a great experience for me to talk to you, and I hope it will be successful for anybody who listens to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.